Hello and welcome to What's Next. I'm your host, Matt Broding. This week, it's Games Week again, and later on I'm talking to Ian Towers, the lead designer of Eternal Return. But before then, Andy and Bill are here to talk about the latest news from GDC.
Hi guys, and welcome to What's Next Game Week. Today we'll be talking about all what's been going on at the Games Developers Conference in America and go through our favourite announcements. To start off for those PC goers, there's a couple of real treats. Fans of the SimCity series have a brand new game to look forward to sometime next year. The classic city simulation game has remained popular for years, and the new trailer by Maxis has had fans excited at the sheer thought of a new generation remake. The developers wanted to tackle current affairs such as global warming, and hopefully they'll make it fun. Check out the new trailer and be ready to become king of the world.
Considering there's giant lizards who destroy your city, it should be quite enjoyable. But for RPG fans, there was the surprising announcement of yet another game in the Fable series. However, this entry to the franchise takes a slightly different approach, and while not much is known about the new game titled Fable Heroes, it appears to be a Mario Party-style cel-shaded adventure game. I can't say any part of that makes sense to me, but you never know, it could turn out good. It probably won't.
Also featured was Crytek's new engine, the Crytek 3 engine, which is set to wow audiences with their new tech, featuring DirectX 11 shading, photorealistic graphics, horrendously accurate facial expressions, and mind-blowing physics. I can only hope that one day I can destroy what developers take 2 or so years to build.
And to follow up from last month, we have the news that Assassin's Creed 3 is indeed coming out later this year. As rumoured, the action will be taking place during the American Revolution and will feature a new protagonist, Rahon Hagidoo, mercifully also known as Connor, leaping through trees in what appears to be an even bigger adventure than ever.
And last but not least off me, folks, is Halo 4. Last time on the show, I told you to prepare and hear more about it, and 343 Industries hasn't let us down. The new video documentary was released showing the game's new direction and the new studio behind it. Luckily for us, snippets of the gameplay for single-player and multiplayer featured throughout the trailer, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
It does look rather good. And finally, we have what is, for me, and anyone who's played the classic LucasArts games, fantastic news. Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer, creators of the always incredible Monkey Island series, are once again teaming up for a new adventure game. To finance this project, they used public donation website Kickstarter, and they vaguely hoped to raise $400,000 within the month to produce the game, only to end up receiving over $1 million in under 24 hours. With over $3.5 million now raised, we will almost certainly be seeing this game soon, and frankly, I cannot wait to see how it turns out, and to actually have the time to play it. And that's it for us. Thank you for joining, and we'll hopefully be back soon talking about video games once again.
I'm now joined in the studio by Ian Towers. Hi Ian.
Hi Matt, nice to meet you.
So have you been keeping up with the news from GDC?
Unfortunately, I've been a bit busy, so I haven't really been following a lot of it, but I did check out the Quantic Dreams tech demo for the PlayStation 3 that they were released around the time. Unfortunately, it was a bit disappointing for me, but it's nice to hear that the Crytek 3 has been releasing some new stuff, which has been brilliant.
I mean, it looks pretty damn impressive from the videos I've seen so far.
I've always been admiring their ability to recreate photorealistic environments in their engine, and it's been hard to tell the difference between a photograph and their engine.
Yeah. Well, a few weeks ago on the show, we had 2 students who took part in Global GamesJam. Now, you also took part in Global GamesJam. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is?
Global GamesJam, 48-hour game challenge where basically, the jam sites that take part, they're challenged with creating, or in teams or all together, a game within 48 hours. And we at Stafford decided, Nia Wern, who organised it, she decided that we should all have groups, and we can all develop our own games. And I was in a team of 6 that developed our game.
Okay. So what was the theme for the game that you had to make?
The theme that they gave us, which they gave out to all of the jam sites, last year it was Extinction. It was just the word title, Extinction. Okay. But this year they changed it a little bit, and they gave us an image. And the image was actually of the Ouroboros, which was a symbol of a snake constantly consuming itself.
Right.
And Yeah, it was really great to see everyone took it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe on your show you had one where they had snake riders, where they actually just used the symbol in some form of motorcycle
Yeah, it's
car,
pretty cool.
which was brilliant. It was great to see that developing, because I did see that as I was walking around the teams.
So what idea did you come up with?
Well, the idea that I came up with was that basically the players are human survivors of some form of disaster, but the idea was that they had to survive many different universes that were being created and destroyed, and then at the end of one universe being destroyed, another would be created.
Yeah.
It was basically in keeping with the Ouroboroses, a lot of the belief with the Ouroboroses of the universes constantly being created and destroyed in our world. So we had the idea to go with that, and we'd probably throw some enemies in each of the different universes. We've got more of a sinister idea later on in the game, where we'd probably have in the plot where it's actually some alien race that's creating all of these crazy universes for you to survive in, and all these crazy bosses for you to destroy.
Okay, well, let's take a quick look at the game that you made. So obviously GamesJam is a competition.
Yeah.
How did you do in the competition?
Well, I don't know how we did in the global competition, because there was a lot of participants, so you kind of get lost in the fray. But we had our own local vote to determine who in the game design group was the best of the game. It's not really the best, but it was more like a playful who won vote. But surprisingly enough, our game actually won the challenge, which was brilliant.
So that's pretty awesome. And did that inspire you then to try and develop the game a bit further?
Yeah, definitely. The programmers were really psyched to get their hands on the game once more and fix a lot of the problems that they made, because they did have 48 hours, and they did spend a lot of time awake for those 48 hours, which was kind of worrying for their sanity. But they do want to get their hands on things. I've been in touch with a bunch of the rest of the team members to try and get in touch with them and get in touch and get them on board with the team. And they have been really receptive, and they're really excited to come back on board and carry on working on the game. And we've had such a good feedback. We've had some people tell us that they'd buy our game, that we're just so psyched to carry on with it and make it better and more fun.
Okay, so what are your big list of changes for the new revised version of the game?
Well, definitely the programmers told me one of the most important things was to get rid of the 3D engine and change it to a better one. Unfortunately, the one they created in 48 hours, though it was amazing because it was 3D bolted onto 2D, 2.5D playfully, you could say. They wanted to change it and make it a bit more, from a programming perspective, a lot better, because it was pretty buggy.
Yeah.
But definitely one other thing we're going to change is probably some of the levels and the interactiveness. We're probably going to also work on fixing hop-in co-op, so that during a game, instead of having to restart the game, you can hop into a game if a player wants to join in. So there are quite a lot of changes. Some of them we don't know yet. We're going to have to reevaluate the game and play it again a few times to see what we can change.
Okay, and what sort of platforms are you thinking on distributing the game on if you do remake it?
Well, at the moment, we are currently working on PC, and you can download it now from the GamesJam website under Staffordshire University's project section. You can download the game and play it with wired 360 controllers.
Right.
And you can have up to 4 wired controllers plugged into your computer, and you can play it. We've had it working, and it's pretty fun. But in Cloud9 thinking, we're definitely going to try and push for a arcade release, or maybe the Xbox Live Indie Games platform, because we really want to see maybe a bigger market, and hopefully fully market the game as a commercial, as an indie title.
Okay, well that sounds good. I hope you do well with it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The game's really fun. So.
Okay, well thanks very much for joining us on the show. That's all we have time for. Join us next week, where it'll be Music Week again, and unfortunately it'll be the last show of the series. Until then, you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and of course our website, what'snextshow.co.uk. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.